today, Demo Reels with Assumpta Serna and Scott Cleverdon.
That's the one. Well, look, we got our first question of the day. We had an issue, pues, and so what we got here is Pilar Morillo García she says, es en inglés. Hoy está en inglés. Normalmente estamos el resto del tiempo en castellano. Pues español. So there you go. Just to prove to everybody I can speak Spanish. So today's in English, but normally we work almost exclusively in Spanish.
Así que si Pilar quieres realmente darnos tu videobook, puedes hacerlo igualmente a Scott at Familia de Cine. Scott arroba
familiadecine.com. And that's the other thing, is anybody who wants to send us their material, remember you can send it to Scott at familiadecine.com. The email will also be in the what the hell do you call it? In the description. That's the thing.
And remember, it's good if you transfer us the file via retransfer instead of,
Don't try to email me a 600 megabyte file.
No, please.
That's look at that. Jen Humphreys. Jen, we haven't seen Jen in a while. She says we both look amazing.
Oh,
well,
yes,
thank you. We're here for you, Jen. We do our damnedest.
The assumption
is beautiful.
That's
whether she is ascending or not. Right. So.
We
usually start off by this. The objective of what we're trying to do is we're trying to establish the things that work, the things that don't work, and judge everything within its own criteria in terms of what it is. So a ShowReel is going to be a different criteria from a self-tape. Okay, for those of you out there who don't know the difference, a self-tape is an audition which an actor has been asked, usually by a casting director, to record in the comfort of their own home. And as you know, if you're an actor and you've had to do your own self-tape, there's nothing comfortable about it at all. The great advantage is that you can do as many takes as necessary to get it right. But what that means is your day's ruined.
Yes.
Your day's totally poleaxed. Your day's buggered. Just forget about it.
There is some tricks.
You don't have a day.
But there is some tricks that you can do to be able to get this a little bit more efficiently and also well shot, because we have to remember that, that also we are professionals and, that we can do things to improve our image, lenses, lights, the way that we're speaking to the camera. Everything it has to be a little bit more sophisticated than, to shoot it simply on your phone.
Yeah, that's the thing. All right, so let's go ahead with the ShowReels we're going to do.
Okay.
Right, let's see what I had here.
Don't you dare walk away from me.
All right, so let me tell the story here. Okay, so I need to go back. I need to pop into my email to find out the story. If you give me 1 second here. Talk amongst yourselves. Don't look at me. Go on.
Okay, so we are going to see now a demo reel. Then we're gonna see it, all at once, and then we're gonna stop and we're gonna, tell what in our experience would be something that is not damaging for the actor, something that that would improve this communication that we have so in the void sometimes, and trying to see also what it means to do a demo reel who is most professional that it can be.
Okay, so I've got this young lady's name. Her name is Jennifer Seele, Seele. Okay, Gesendet von Mail for Windows, I suppose. Right. So she's German. She speaks extraordinarily good English. She had her videos embedded in a casting page or an agent's page. One of the things that happens there is that sometimes it's a little tricky to extract it. Okay, I can't do it necessarily, and sometimes the actor doesn't actually have their own files. So one of the most important things I would suggest to all actors out there, if you don't have a Google email account or a Google Drive, get one now. You need a Google Drive. You get a free, I think it's 14 gigabytes. That should be more than enough to keep your photos there, to keep your calendar up to date, and that's very, very useful. Use your Google Calendar. You can use it across your telephone, your computer, your laptop, your tablet, your iPad, your watch, whatever it is, you'll be able to see it there. That's the great thing. The other thing is, you're never going to have an excuse of losing that material, okay? Unless Google goes down, and I don't think it is going to go down for the foreseeable future. I think we're good for a couple of centuries yet, okay? So go ahead and take your material, the raw material, the edits, whatever you've got, and go and keep it there, okay? Just keep it there. Keep it in a folder. Give it a name. Don't forget what it is. Try not to forget your password, please, right? It's one of the worst things. I've had people go, oh yeah, I got it. I put it. Yeah, I can't remember the password. Trust me. You can find the password. You might have to there's a million different ways to do it now. It's not easy. It's a pain in the ass, but you're going to have to do it. Okay? So store everything there. You never have an excuse. You've got another advantage there is if anybody goes, hey, do you have something like that? You can give them a direct link to the file.
Yes. Be careful to separate also from the files that you don't want them to see, which is, fun to do. So when you do it, it's already sent. But anyway,
What are you talking about? What have you done?
You can always go back. Yeah, no, if
keep it away from the folder that says me and my pants. Is that what you're talking about?
No, like little pieces or things that if
I see.
you want to send just the final
work.
You
You want kind of like a finished file folder.
File folder.
But anyway,
exactly.
top tip for everybody, and in fact, that's a very good. It's a pretty good thing for life right now. One of the things that happens to us is we have various different levels of clutter in our life. We have our homes, we have our living rooms, we have our home offices. Then inside our home offices, we have a desk. The desktop is cluttered. Then we go to our laptops or our desktop computers, and the desktop there is cluttered. And eventually we get to our phones, and we've got a million different apps that we don't use, and that's cluttered too. So this is an opportunity to open another place that you can clutter.
No, it's a good
No.
It's a good opportunity to just put the things that you're going to share to someone, okay?
That too. Okay, top tip. All right, let's keep going here. Okay,
well, her name is Jenny.
So she says, dear Scott and Assumpta, she said, I saw your post in Facebook group and I'd be happy if you'd like to analyze my showreel and headshots. I'm a German actress, so I have a few German showreel scenes, but also one English self-tape video. Okay, so I'm going to deal with the self-tape today because the other things are in German and I haven't checked to see whether they're subtitled on the interface, but I don't think they're actually the video subtitled. Please let me know what you think. I look forward to your feedback. All right, so let's go ahead and watch this, shall we? Let me go ahead and hide that. Let me see where we're going. Okay, Lucinda Bailey's there. You're right, hen. Okay, let's get it up here and all that stuff. Let's have a look at this young lady here. Okay, I'll go from the start.
Don't you dare walk away from me. And don't tell me you're sorry. And don't tell me to forget it. And don't you dare tell me to let it go. God knows I'd like to. I wish I could. But I can't. I can't forget that we had something and you are running away. You're running away, Mark. Don't you see that? You're running away from what I've searched for all my life. Why? Because you're scared? Well, I'm scared too. But you and I, we have something worth fighting for. We can make it work. I mean, I'm not saying it would be easy, but I care about you. And I know deep down under this bravado, you care about me. Don't you get it, Mark? This is what it's all about. It's the human experience. You can pretend all you want, but you're only lying to yourself. And you are denying the simple and wonderful fact that you are emotional and vulnerable and alive. Can you honestly stand there and tell me that I mean nothing to you? That everything that happened that night was a lie? That you feel nothing? I feel sorry for you, Mark. I move on. I'll find someone else. I'll be alright, because I will know that I tried. And I did everything I could. But someday you will look back and you will realize what you threw away. And you will regret it. Always.
Right, that's it. Right, okay, that's a self-tape. That's not a ShowReel. Okay. Now, I'm not quite sure why, but I don't hear the other person talking.
No, I it's unbelievable that there is there another person. And
now, this is the thing. There's a couple of there's a question here, right? And I think it's a valid one. And the question is, let me see where we are here. So Jenny, the question is, did you do it and leave the gaps for the other person? How did you? I'm very interested to know how you did that, because really we need to hear the other person. Now, I know you might be working under the impression that the person who sent it to you knows what the scene is and they're just interested in you. Or perhaps you didn't have anybody to read with. For example, I'm working with the lovely Diana Dank, who's in Russia right now, in Moscow, and she needs somebody who can speak decent English to do a scene for her showreel. Okay, and she's having great difficulty. So anybody out there who might be in Moscow, it's a nice idea. Get in touch with us and I'll put you in touch with Diana. Or you can look for her on Facebook. It's an issue. What we're going to talk about here, I don't know about you, but I'm going to talk about general acting tips, which I think would be very useful and for anybody out there who's about to do a self-tape. Okay, I see we have Katie Tranter here. Katie, who was here the other day, we watched her showreel, which was great. And what she did is she proved herself to be very attractive, confident, and competent. Okay, these are the things that we're looking for here. Now, what you've got on your side, Jenny, is you've got youth. Let's start there. Okay, so the first thing is, if you're doing a self-tape, I really want to hear the other person. Okay, find somebody. I don't care who it is. Get somebody to read with you. Okay, that will make you. Perhaps they are, but I don't understand how, because it doesn't sound like they're there. It sounds like you're leaving the gaps for the other person. Wouldn't you say?
Yes. Well, I don't understand. What you. I understand what is your perception. I mean, the person who is actually seeing it. It has another perception of that. She has to see you also when you're listening, not only when you are, talking. And what does it mean? It means that she or he has to see your thoughts. You see, and if there is no lines from the other person, then it's really strange, because of course you are with a fixed stare to the some cross in the wall, but there is no there's nowhere to go for you, because you don't have this
Roxy Jones
who has to be that there is a scene. So that is for the start. We have to believe always. The person who is seeing it has to believe this situation, and that is very hard for us to believe, that there is another person. So yeah, it's a self-tape. Yes, we know that it's not a scene, but even then, that could be a complete scene, a complete normal scene that that you only need someone who reads with you. Then the pauses is when you are in a fixed stare, they are really throws away of your first and main objective, which is entertaining us, right? We don't generate questions anymore, which is
let's be precise in our speech. It's not necessarily to entertain us, but what it is to interest us.
Interest us,
and
yes.
What's interesting is by effecto secundario, by side effect, is interesting.
Yeah,
is entertaining. Sorry.
And how is entertaining is when we can read your thoughts, not only when you're talking, but also when you're listening. So in all this. Has to be believable. How we do it believable? Just by making that our imagination is the imagination complete of the scene. So there is another person. You have to make that person that is believable and that is there. That the first start. If not, is very impossible. The second thing is you're talking to someone because you need something. Okay, and it's important in the communication that this need is not only a voice of a victim, but someone who has arguments, and that everything that you say is because you have something that you want from the other person, and if it is different every time, it's going to be better.
Yeah, that's something I was going to bring up, is that we'll have a quick look at it again, but one of the things that you do is you start by playing a particular attitude and a particular tone, which is which is pleading. Okay, you start out by pleading. Now, everybody knows about improvisation. Well, I hope they do. That one of the first rules in improvisation is to never say no. You always say yes and. Okay, that's an established thing that we all know in improvisation. Comedic improvisation. In terms of dramatic improvisation, which is what we're doing all day, every day, remember that life is nothing more than one continuous shot with no rehearsal. It's all improvised, and it will always end the same way for everybody. So, one of the things that we do in dramatic improvisation is there's a point where we actually have to do something called changing our tactics or strategy. So if I want you to come out with me, I'll go, please come out with me. Come on, you haven't been out for ages. And you go, no. And I go, well, you need to get out of the house. I mean, you've been stuck in here for weeks. And they go, no. Then I go, look, that person you really like is going to be there. And they go, no. So what I'm going to have to do is to come up with a different tactic. Because if I do the same tactic, it's really, really not interesting. If I'm the editor, I go, well, we've already established that she's pleading. Now where do I go with this? Does she end up, so I'm going to have to cut that. So the question is, do I want to see her demanding? I want to see her seducing. I want to see her persuading. I want to see all of these different tactics that are there. Because otherwise, when you got this text, and this text is long, it probably was about, maybe 3 or 4 pages. If you got that there and you're not changing the tactic, I'm going to get very bored very quickly. That's not to say it's boring, okay? But what I'm saying is that you have the opportunity to show greater variation by playing other actions and other tactics.
So to really communicate with another person, we want different things while we were speaking. Also in this text, it cannot be only one thing. Why? Because if not, there is no arch of the character. It's not entertaining. You are away from reality, because that is what what someone does, all the time when we want something. So here is that we don't know what you want apart from pleading. So you need something from this other person. If really it is that he stays with you or she stays with you, then we have to see this need that is not pleading is another thing. When you need someone, things are happening that they are not only pleading. Okay, then I can see yourself in kind of looking for emotions, and that is something that we have to bring into the table. It bothers me the breathing, and bothers me also the looking for emotion. That is something that is common. I'm not saying that and very good actors and actresses had fell into this ditch sometimes. So it's looking for emotion is something that happens to a lot of actors, and it's not. You have to also bring the emotion in the table before you start talking, because if not, that doesn't really, and you cannot look as an actress for an emotion in the middle of the pauses, you see, because then I can see it. So I know that you're young. I know, a lot of things that happens there that they are not. I'm not blaming you you're a bad actress at all, and I'm sure also that with your language you feel a little bit more comfortable. I don't know if we're going to see the things in German.
I can see I can put the things in German if you like as well. Right. Well, that's one of my revelations that you have here, is because my question is always, why are we so preoccupied with? Why are we so worried about emotion? And I think it's got to do with if we're at least seeking an emotion, then we feel like we're acting. Or because that's supposed to be our job, right? We feel like we're acting. But the thing is, we shouldn't really be worried about that. We should be thinking about, what are we trying to do? What are we doing? Because when you're doing something, you're acting. That's really the big difference there. You actually know you're acting. Because all of a sudden, it's easy. Mm-hmm. Okay? So there's another thing technically I want to get here, and I'm going to get there. And hello to Matt. And Lucinda and everybody else who's here. It's lovely to see you. So let's have a quick look at this. So let's have a quick look here.
Don't you dare walk away from me.
Okay, this is another thing very technically, and I'm going to put this up big on screen here. Right. What you've done is you've placed the person that you're speaking to at about 60. I don't know how many degrees is that. It's not 45. You placed them about 30 degrees away from you. Okay, so it's not bad, but I would actually place the person you're speaking to much closer to the camera. David Collado, welcome. One of the things that we've got going on here that we have to be kind of conscious about. Let me 1 second here. Okay, one of the things that we have to be conscious about, and this is something that you'll see when you watch a film or a TV show, and certainly if you've seen a making of a movie or something like that, you'll see the actor right next to the lens. The reason for that is the closer the person you're speaking is to the lens, the more you will accidentally be open to the camera and thus more open to us, the audience. Okay?
And we feel that we are privileged to go into your privacy. Okay?
Yeah.
And because what we want is to really understand and know your thoughts, because that is what's the camera work.
I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So I'm going to do this, right? So what happens is I'm speaking to a person over here. Okay, so I'm speaking to this person here. So this is where you've got it. You've got it over there. Okay, as you can see, I'm away from the camera, and in fact, this eye, my left eye, is slightly in shadow. Okay, so what I'm going to do is what I really want to do is I really want to be with the camera. This is the camera here. So I'm actually going to speak to the person over there like this. Okay, as you can see, I'm with the camera. I'm thinking about things that only the camera can see. Okay, which is different if I'm here. You see, I'm cutting myself off from the camera. One of the things that we're always dealing with in terms of actors and acting is something which is not really an issue in terms of the theatre, because people know where they are and where the audience is. It's fairly easy to work out. You can see them. They're right in front of you. They're not going to move. The thing with the camera, and when you're shooting on set, is the audience is always moving. The audience is where the camera is. Instead of hundreds or thousands of people, if you're lucky, what you have is one person. And this point of observation is always shifting. So your instinct should always be to establish where your friend is, the camera, and then look to the other person.
And also this character in the actual text that we see here is moving. Because you say, no, why you weren't going away?
Yeah.
So, this person has to cross camera. This person, we have to make believable that there is another person there. You understand? It's very, very important that you understand that, because if not, all the self-tapes will be just saying the text, and we don't want that. We want the idea, the imagination. We want to understand your thoughts. We want to understand. So, and that is a conflict for us if you don't, if you don't imagine also what's happening in the scene. And what's happening in the scene is that the guy is going to run away. Whatever he says is important to us because it reflects also, we want to see your thoughts, what you think about that, what is the reaction before you start also talking. And there, because there is these pauses, long pauses about, waiting for
some piece of text that he's saying.
Text that he says that is not there, then we just we go away from you. What you want is to generate questions all the time. For that, you have to have also a subtext that works. I cannot see it there. I only see one pleading thing. So what we want is to understand that perhaps, you are saying something because you want something, but at the same time, you are thinking on the next thing. Sometimes not always the things are so clear. Sometimes when we want something, there is things that we say, but we also have this idea of the next argument that we want to say to him. So that adds truth to our story, and those are the things that good actors sometimes forget. So don't think that is only you. It's not that the problem, Jenny.
Okay, so let's get back to where we were.
Don't you dare walk away from me. And
the problem. Okay, the issue there is that is the tone that we have for almost 5 minutes, which is, I can't believe you're doing. What do you do? I can't believe you're doing this. Okay, that's the issue we have, is that you need to find a place to change it. Okay, and it's not about emotion; it's about the action that you're going to play.
Tell me you're sorry, and don't tell me to forget it. And don't you dare tell me to let it go.
Okay, just in terms of the text. Don't tell me you're sorry, don't tell me to forget it, and don't tell me to let it go, right? This is a demand. This is one of many choices you could make. You could demand this, right? And that's what's written in it. Don't go for the emotion, go for the action. And don't worry.
The action meaning what you want. It's not the activity.
No,
action
it's the filter of what you're what you're doing, what you're playing at that point. All of this thing of theatre training and acting training and everything, that's so bloody complicated that when you come to working on camera, you need to be able to pare it down to virtually its essence, which is, what the hell am I doing right now? What am I trying to achieve?
Exactly. What I want. What do I want?
What do you want?
Exactly. What do I want?
It's like the scene in the Notebook, with Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams. It was like, what do you want? That's how I feel a lot with actors. What do you want?
What do you want sometimes is, what do you want? Is what do I want? And sometimes we don't know how to articulate the next phrase, because we are still looking, and because this need is so much that he doesn't go, that sometimes we are. You see, that is the way that we disguise and we add truth into it by uncertainty. So it's very interesting that with this text you could find the wrong is about analyzing the text. In your case, you have to find if you see but it's in Spanish. Oh, what a pity.
Which one's that?
All these videos that we have about how to act and how to analyze a text.
Yeah, but I actually made a video on my own when you weren't here. I made a video that lasted about an hour about the what I believe are the important things and the not important things for acting and actors.
Really, in English?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
You didn't tell me.
No, I did it secretly.
Oh my goodness, I have to see that.
Yeah, you didn't see it?
No,
It's pretty good. I had graphics and everything. It was really slick.
Really?
Yeah, I did it live.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was great. Well, I don't know if it was great, but it was useful. I think it was useful.
And
I
is
hope
there?
it was
Is
useful.
Is in our list?
Yeah, it's in the videos in English. If you go to our playlists on our
great.
YouTube page, you'll find the stuff which is in English, and it's there.
Good, great.
But
Because that can be very helpful. They are tips, tips that helps you to remember, not to forget, when you analyze a text, what you can do with a text, which is already a victory. So really revise that, because it is interesting to see that all the problems is because you didn't choose. The actor has to choose. The imagination of the actor has to come to us in a way that we understand that you have chosen things. You have chosen your actions, because if not, if it's empty of actions, then I cannot go and read what you have in your thoughts, and that is a pity, because that is what acting is.
There's a curious thing, and I've said this to a lot of actors in a lot of classes and a lot of moments, which is I don't care what you feel. I only care what you do. And that's pretty much how the audience, how they feel about the thing as well. If not, somebody screaming and crying for 2 hours would be an amazing movie, but we don't really care about that. Emotion is more about, when it really touches us, it's got more to do with the suppression of emotion. When we're trying not to laugh, when we're trying not to cry, when we're trying to show that we're not angry, when we're trying to show that we're not in love. All of those things are so much more exciting and how would you say,
compelling for the one that is watching you see, because he says it's exactly what I think that he is I think I saw there that he wants this, but or it's gonna be all right. Yes, that's what he's all the time checking with you, and that's what how you attract them, is because you're bringing them to your imagination, to your thoughts, and generate questions, and that is what it's about.
So it's all about Dominic Anglin. Dominic, a tall Irishman, top of the morning to you. It's always generating questions. That is brilliant. Thanks. It's one of the things that we forget.
Yes.
Is that what we're trying to do very often is when we're acting, we're trying to give an answer, right? How many times have you seen a scene end? Right, so Assumpta, tell me to go to hell. That's the end of the scene.
Okay, go to hell.
How often have you seen a scene in a TV show end like that? That somebody does something and we cut to the person who's just received the news or whatever, and we try to work out what they're thinking.
Yeah.
That says, the audience goes, oh my goodness, what happened there? Oh, what are they going to do?
Exactly.
Oh, is it his fault?
He's going to call her?
Is he not going to call her? So what those things do is the tendency that we have as actors is to tell everybody what's going on. Mm-hmm. But really, part of the thing about making them ask the question is we're not going to tell them a damn thing. Mm-hmm. We might think it, but we're going to hide it from them.
Yes, which is also very interesting. That's all a little bit sophisticated for what we are saying. But start from there, Jenny, because I think that's going to be very useful for you. Revise the text again and do it again. Because I think it's a text that can offer you a lot of possibilities. An arch. The text is good as it is. It's not
you need to read with somebody.
You need to read it with somebody, and that needs you have to explore the possibilities.
You're making your
of
life
this text.
so hard there, huh?
Oh yeah, being alone and doing this, impossible. Yeah,
it's really, really, really tough.
Yeah.
It's super tough. I wouldn't know where to start there.
Walk away from me.
Now the other thing here is,
and don't tell me you're sorry.
Your English is fantastic.
Forget it.
Your English is magnificent.
It reminds me a lot of Isolda Duchak.
She does, yeah.
Yeah.
And don't you dare tell me to let it go. God knows I'd like to. I wish I could, but I can't. I can't forget that we had something and you are running away.
I can see a lot of possibilities. I'm not going to say that you need a lot of adjustments.
Not at all.
Is adjustments.
Just tiny adjustments and a little bit of maybe a stronger and a slightly more interesting choice.
And perhaps someone that is from the other side that can actually advise you how you do it better.
Yeah,
that's what we do all the time. So yeah, here we are. But no, really, it's looking for emotional emotion is not good. The importance of communication and the need that you have is translated by doing strategies and having different actions in the text. Being a victim is not a very good choice.
No, the other thing I would suggest is stop thinking about character and think how you would say it and how you would do it. How would you do it? This was you. How would you approach this? You, the person, the Steele. How would you do it?
Yeah.
And that will be the best way to do it. Because one of the things, and this is kind of important, and it's the sort of thing that I spend a lot of my time when I'm coaching actors is to get them back to actually trying to work out who they are and how they do things. Because that is it's the instrument closest to you to play. Okay? We don't have to second guess how the way we talk or move or anything like that. The most important thing is to understand that the motor in anything we do at any given point is to achieve something. Now, that's related to one of three individuals. Somebody else, yourself, or the gods. We're either speaking to somebody else, to ourselves, or to the universe. That's just the way it goes. You have to pick one. Sometimes we speak to ourselves like, why did this happen? We will literally talk to the heavens. It's peculiar, but it happens like that. I mean, we actually do it. Sometimes we'll do it like I will be speaking to myself, but I'm attempting to have a conversation with myself to find some kind of resolution or some kind of explanation or
some kind of idea that I can say, or argument to the other person. And that is something that you can do into this one too, you know. You're not so certain.
Walk away from it.
You're not so certain about the things that, you know, that what's going to happen. And this uncertainty about this guy who, you know, and this need, it has to happen a lot more things, you know. Things that they're going to be, you know, like a revelation for you when you really study the text and when you really separate, you know, as Scott says in this video, what is called, like tips for acting or acting tips, or
it's got some controversial title like why everything you've ever learned about acting is wrong.
Oh, I see.
It's something.
Okay.
I was trying to be clickbaity. I failed miserably, but it's a pretty good video. It's a really good video, and there's a lot of good stuff in it.
Okay.
Because basically what it's doing is about eliminating all the things that they tell us that are important about concentration, about emotion, about character, about all those different things, about relaxation. These things that we're told that are so important for the actor, but at the end of the day, nobody gives a damn.
Yes.
They really don't care. You know, right? I wanted to show a little bit of
analyzing test is also you're addressing this.
I don't address that to a great degree.
Okay, because it would be a good.
That's true. It's something I do. It's something I do in private coaching sessions with individuals.
Yes, good.
Yeah. Okay. So make a note.
I make a note.
Take a note, Miss Jones. That's what we need to do one of those.
About what, Miss Jones?
Drinks like a fish. Marvelous technician. Right. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show some of because I think it's clear about that now. I wanted to have a quick look at this. This is a ShowReel scene, and this is in German, or as we like to call it in Spain.
This is in German.
An Alemán. Yeah, this is in German.
Okay, great.
Okay, but it's fairly brief, I believe.
Und noch krass, es gibt noch mega News. Jill ist jetzt auch wieder mit ihrem Freund zusammen.
Ach.
Und die zwei ziehen jetzt nach Belgien.
Cool.
Mhm. Aber weißt du, was das für uns heißt? Wir können die besuchen gehen, und zwar in Brüssel.
Stimmt. Naja, falls es hält, ne? Wahrscheinlich wird es eh bereuen, hier alles zu schmeißen.
Ja, jetzt geht hier los.
Nichts. Ich hab was aus New York bekommen.
Das heißt, es hat nicht geklappt mit dem Tanzstudium.
Keine Ahnung, ich hab's zum Glück nicht aufgemacht.
Wieso?
Ich bleib eh hier.
Ja, ist klar.
Im Ernst, Madeleine. Haben jetzt immer schlechter und Dad ist nicht wirklich für sie da. Wenn ich sie jetzt auch noch alleine lasse, dann...
Okay, pass auf. Entweder machst du den Brief auf oder ich.
Okay. Schön.
Right. Okay. This is in German. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Okay, because I don't understand the the intricacies of German. First thing, put the camera lower, okay? You don't have to have it so high. There's a tendency for people, and it's got to do with where the image appears on a phone, because usually people shoot with phones, is to be very conscious that the camera on the phone is very often at a different position to the middle of the phone. It sometimes be at the top, it might be at the bottom. The nature of the cameras, which are fairly wide angle, it means they're rather unforgiving. So have a look and make sure that your eyes are on the same level as the camera. The other thing I checked there when I was watching that was like...
But you think that is shot with a... I think that they shot with a camera that is a little bit more nicer than a phone.
I'm not sure about that.
With another lenses, I think.
Why?
Well, because she is... better because we don't see much the actual detail on the wall. I think that this lens is a little bit more.
You know what's happening now? It might just be a nicer phone.
Might be a nicer phone.
No, that happens
yes,
too.
Yes,
is that,
yes.
For example, the new iPhone 13 has a cinema mode, which allows you to rack focus between subjects. You know, it actually allows you to change the focus and the depth of field and everything like that.
Nice.
You know, eventually, you know.
But you see, we are so handsome ourselves, and that is because we have a good lens.
Everybody thinks this is like a green screen.
No, it's a good lens. Everything is a good lens. Well, lights, of course, but I mean lens. You know, lens is what it gives you this other completely. If I'm shooting this in another lens, that is how we were before. You know, at the beginning when we were shooting it with a camera of the computer, you see? And it's very, very different. If you see, for instance, our first live sessions, you're going to see it. So anyway, you have to also be conscious about that, because an actor now, you know, has to do a lot of self-tape. So it's good that we advise this, because it's good for everybody. Anyway, so...
I mean, the thing that I'm interested... Okay, so here's...
Pizza super.
Right, okay, so we got another scene here.
But what I see, even if I don't understand the language, what I see is someone that is at ease with the camera. I see someone that you know is eating, someone is you know is fresh, someone that is there present. I can see in your eyes the things that is going to happen. So the exact same text that you have. Please do it with someone else.
Look, we have Matt, who's over there in Cincinnati. How you doing, buddy? I didn't say hello to you before. I had a good time with that one. For me, considerably more natural reactions throughout convincing. Wunderbar. Because Matt speaks German.
Of course, because
So
you know,
gut,
even if you don't understand it, you can see the differences, and the differences is just because you don't have someone there to talk.
Well,
we can do that without a person, but it's very difficult. But you can do it without the person. You know, that's what we've been doing before. You know, when we have a casting director that was really, let's say, shitty. About
Shots fired.
When they were giving us the lines, so you know we had to imagine a lot of things, and that's what we do normally. You know, so it's good that you have this imagination in yourself, apart from the other actor. You know, and it's good also that you. Sorry, Scott.
That's okay.
It's good also that you imagine their reactions, or his or her reactions, because that is great acting.
I got a confession to make. The times that I've sat in on, and I've worked with a lot of casting directors and read in with a lot of actors. I've also coached actors for a lot of castings as well. One of the things I realized that you can do, and you've always sort of gone, you shouldn't really do that, is I realized that the way I read with somebody will influence the way that they are with me. So I can actually inspire them or gently nudge them towards being in contact with what they're saying. For example, if there's a point where they say don't go, I will literally go. I will literally begin to walk out the room, and they will have to stop me.
Of course.
Because if they don't stop me, I'm going to go. And it's one of the things that we kind of lose, and it's quite British that we don't want to we don't want to get our hands dirty. We don't want to be sort of offensive.
Yes.
And we
you
don't
respect
want
a lot of space.
Yes, I'm terribly sorry. I'm terribly sorry. Could you possibly stop stabbing me? Could you see it in your heart of hearts to stop sticking that knife into my throat.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
We would entirely appreciate that. Me and my family, and in fact my entire community, would appreciate this lack of
now,
murder.
Goodbye. I have to die.
Yes. What happened to him? He was just talking nonsense. Bled out. He's now in a pool of his own apology. That's where he goes right now. Yeah.
Like British people.
See, this is what Matt says. It's such a phenomenon. You can back me up on this. You are a completely different personality depending on which language you are speaking. That is also a given.
Absolutely.
That what you're doing, and you're doing very, very particularly there, is that you are very consciously speaking English, and you're doing your English acting voice and all the rest of it. Your English is immaculate. You sound like home counties. It's amazing. But then this is not just accent, but this is not just language. This is also accent.
Yes.
That sometimes we're liberated when we're speaking in the accent and the cultural accent of our home.
We've seen that a lot, many times.
We see that many times here in Spain. That people who are from the other places apart from the center of Spain, from Galicia, Catalonia, País Vasco, the Basque Country, Andalucía, all these different places, Extremadura, that if people lean into their own accent, they have this whole different world of expression which they're normally subjugating, they're normally ignoring.
So I like Jenny to do something, you to do something for me. I like to repeat this scene, okay, with someone else there, and before that, having the text separated in strategies of what you want and the actions, choosing the actions. Try that and get back to us.
And I think what my nice idea that we've done it before in Spanish is like a basic 101 on how to break down a text.
Yes, I think we should do that in English.
Yeah, in English. We've done it often in Spanish, but I think we should definitely have a go at doing it in English.
Yes. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that for next Thursday, perhaps.
I think that would be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, it's already...
It's already 8:00. Now, one of the reasons that people go, why'd you take so long over one thing? Well, this is not just about reviewing showreels or self-tapes or headshots or CVs or anything like that. All of these things give us an enormous opportunity to be able to talk about the intricacies, the mechanics, and the things which are important in acting, and specifically when it comes to showing everybody who we are.
And how to fix things, because, it's easy to say, oh, no, and, and don't give any solutions. We are trying to really to try to do our best to be able for you to understand not only the basics, but what is going to be very helpful for you specifically, which is, already something that I think nobody does.
No, and one of the things that we're trying to do is that we're trying to avoid opinion, okay? As the man says, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one and they all stink. And one of the things with...
Who said that?
You never heard of that?
Yes, but who said that?
I don't know. Somebody said it. It's been quoted 1 million times.
Okay.
So one of the things about this is we try to make something opinion proof. When we approach something, we don't have any opinion about it. We're looking at it through the filter of what it was designed for. In this case, it's a self-tape. That's what it's there for. We're also dealing with the context, the camera, who you get to work with, whether it's optimal or not, because what we want to do is come across as competent. Remember, you go up for job A, you might end up with job D.
Yes, and this self-tape is not going to work in a video book, but it's going to...
ShowReel.
on a ShowReel. But if you shoot it again, perhaps, it's going to be, why not, interesting to see. So I would be very pleased if you change it and you send it to us.
Look at that. Surprise, Vegeta. What can I say? You are my favorite Carnage, and Carnage is a voice that I did in the original Spider-Man cartoons in the 90s, with an incredible cast of characters. I think there was Mark Hamill played Hobgoblin, just incredible people. And let me just see if I can. This was me in the 90s. Terrifying, right? But you weren't expecting me to come up with that so quickly, were you?
No, that was good. That was great.
So that was a lot of that sort of stuff. Yeah, that was me. But apart from that, I'm a very, very serious actor. Very, very serious indeed.
Okay,
Yeah, so those are things that are really important. One of the things that people do is they'll tell you that they like it or they don't like it, but they won't be able to tell you why. If they don't like it, they'll just go, well, I don't really like it. I think it's a bit boring. And I'll say, right. And what they won't be able to do is to give you a solution for
You're
it.
going to say here, too many pauses.
Too many pauses, or it's too repetitive or whatever.
Or, or you're going to say...
And the problem is that so many people who are working in training actors have never really done the damn thing, and they certainly haven't trained as much as we have. We've done like 15,000 hours with actors. So when I see an actor and I see the performance, it's a little bit like when Neo sees the Matrix, and he doesn't see the people or the agents. All he sees is the code. Right, that's what he sees. He sees the code of everything. So when we look at actors, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the bits that don't join up. We're seeing the things that don't work.
Well, and also see the human beings and the need that you have.
There are no human beings.
Really to do these adjustments.
There are no human beings.
To do these adjustments to really, it's adjustments.
No, but that is the code. The code is the people.
Yeah.
The code is the people, who they are, the way they speak, the way they walk, the way they move, and what they do.
More than a code, I can believe.
No, but perhaps it's a bad metaphor or analogy.
Okay.
Or whatever. But it's the idea that what you do is you see the mechanics of acting.
Yes, that's very interesting.
You see, because the thing is it's not...
And don't worry, you're not alone, Jenny. A lot of people have the same adjustments to make.
And you're extraordinarily castable.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? You're the irritated stepdaughter, you're the of the divorced parents, you're the kind of rebellious girl, you're the girl who runs away from home, you're the one who dabbles in drugs,
you're the best friend of the protagonist.
Yeah,
you are the protagonist.
You are the protagonist. That's the other thing. You're German. It's a completely different thing. And the other thing is I
wish I was German. I thought about this a lot of times.
You wish you were German?
Yeah, I wish I was German. Anyway.
I'm Scottish. I mean, it doesn't get any better
no,
than that.
Because the industry, because things would be very different.
They would be very different, but you wouldn't be you.
No,
we would never have met.
No, that's true.
That's true.
I don't want to meet you.
You'd be here. This is what it'd be like. You'd be there. This would be you on your own.
No, Scott, please.
That'd be it.
Okay,
right.
Darlings.
So that's our show for today. Thank you very much.
Talking bollocks.
Yeah, I know, we're absolutely talking nonsense right now. Absolutely talking nonsense. Right, well, that's our show for tonight. It's been an absolute delight. Remember, if you're following on YouTube, remember to follow us and give us a like and look at our playlist. I'm going to highlight that one in the thing that I talked about, that particular video about the why everything you've ever been taught about acting is wrong.
Okay.
If you're on Facebook, remember to follow us and give us a like. We've now got 4 more followers than likes, which is a little bit curious. And remember, if you want to help us out and can help us continue to do what we're doing, you can always go to patreon.com/Assumpta Serna, which is her.
And also it's very nice what Jim Talbot says, that he really means it. He says, have a good night and enjoy yourselves.
Yeah. Thank you, Jim. It's good to see you here. Maria del Carmen Huson, she says, thank you. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you to you all.
Thank you, Maria del Carmen. Anyway, it's been really, really wonderful to spend some time with you guys again. Remember, if you have your showreels, your self-tapes, your CVs, or your headshots, feel free to send them to us here. You can send them to me,
Scott
which is here.
familiadecine.com.
You'll find that address also in the description down below. When this is done, I'm going to go and add the other video, which I've been referencing here, which is my total heresy for everybody.
Okay.
The other thing, if you're feeling very perverse, you can actually go to buymeacoffee/Assumpta Serna.
Yes, buy us a coffee.
Yeah, buy us a coffee. So a couple of people have done that. It was rather nice. I was like, what's this? Anyway, that's our story for tonight. Remember, send us your material so we can look through it again. The Familia de Cine, the film family, as we like to call it, is growing. We now have more native English speakers only, because it's been traditionally only Spanish speakers. We have Lucinda Bailey, who's, look, there's more Scottish people here today.
Yes, huh?
Check that out.
Good.
You'll have had your tea. Gorino Dida.
Yes, he's very alone here. We need more Scottish people.
No,
I love Scottish
no, we're good.
people.
I'm sure Lucinda would be in agreement with me that being Scottish makes us very, very exotic. Right.
It says, and give yourself a credit. Remember, Carnage was one of the many reasons I started doing voices.
There you go.
My goodness.
I have created a monster.
I didn't know that.
Jaden Cosmedithi, I agree you're my favorite Carnage.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to give you... I'll give you 10 cackles out of 10. It's really wonderful to see you guys here. Thank you so much.
And
Check
remember
out
next Thursday?
Next Thursday, at the same time, the same bat time at the same bat channel. We'll be here. And remember, may the force be with you.
Mwah.
Mwah. And remember, upwards.
And?
Onwards. That's the one. There you go. I got Lucinda here. This is our little after show, which we indulge in. She says, I
have the satire flag in my office.
You're missing an L. It should be the saltire.
Saltire, what's that?
Otherwise, it sounds like a parody flag. The saltire is the Scottish flag.
Oh, I see.
It's the oldest flag in the world. Established in the 8th century. During a battle, St. Andrew's Cross appeared in the form of clouds, an X over the battlefield, and ye knew that they were assured of victory. Aye. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, she corrects herself. Yeah, well done. Saltire. Okay. Scotland's very, very peculiar in the sense that it's so tiny and yet seems to have invented so many things and had so much influence. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay.
It's either the whiskey or there's something in the water.
Well,
I don't know.
I have to see what the Catalans say about their flag, because I'm sure it was older than yours.
No, it's not. The Catalan flag with the fort, that's the 18th century flag.
No.
Shots fired.
No.
Were you about to Google that now?
I mean, yes.
Ah, jeez, here we go.
Bandera Catalana.
Origen. Origen. Welcome to Live Googling with Assumpta Scott. Today we will be live Googling the origin of the Catalan flag.
Okay, 1359.
No, I'm sorry, ours is older.
Okay.
Cortes catalanes adaptaron la bandera del Cruz de San Juan. They adapted.
De San Jorge.
San Jorge.
Como las antiguas armas de Barcelona. Okay.
All right, so there you go. So welcome it's one-stop shopping for advice on self-tapes, headshots, video books, showreels, and the history of flags of the world.
Okay, it's 9th century. La tradición popular ha vinculado históricamente la creación de este símbolo a una leyenda medieval que se remonta al siglo IX.
Right, okay. It's
Yours is?
Yeah, but it was actually
8th
used.
Century?
Ours was actually used.
8th century?
Yes.
Fuck. I'm sorry. Sorry, grandfathers of Scott. I cannot say.
When Assumpta met my family for the first time, obviously it's like she learned how to swear in the bar of an Irish navigator. So it was effing and blinding all day. And all I can say is her language was rather colourful because you grew up and, you spent a lot of time on movie sets and you thought it was just normal.
And then I understood that was really bad work.
You melon farmer, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right. Anyway, that's us for today. You're all fabulous. Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you for carrying.
Tomorrow we'll be here in Spanish. We might have an Ask Us Anything.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that might be interesting. We could have an Ask Us Anything, and we need to repeat the sharp Ask Us Anything. We haven't done that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we did it in July of 2020.
Okay.
When we were so young and innocent
and beautiful.
Well, I've been,
at least me.
To quote Harvey Firestein in the Torch Song trilogy, I have been young and I have been beautiful, but never the twain have met. Yeah, so that's what he said.
What does it mean?
It means I've been young and I've been beautiful, but never at the same time.
Oh, I see. That's nice. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye for now. And God bless Harvey Firestein and all who sail in him. Harvey Firestein.
I say
Not Weinstein, Harvey Firestein.
Oh, sorry.
Or Firestein, or Fierstein.
It's like, okay.
All right. Can we finish now?
Yes.
This is like trying to hang up with your girlfriend.
Yes.
It's like, no, you first. No, you first. Right. No, you first. You first. All right. You're going to hang up, weren't you?
We
no.
did that, huh?
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah. Everybody does that.
Yeah. And then it goes,
5 minutes later.
that's where we end up. Right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow in Spanish, and we'll be back this time next week